All right, Pat. Josh Giddey. So, insider thing here is that the Bulls are fine with the $30 million, reportedly, but they are kind of leaning more towards a 4-year deal than a 5-year deal, with the idea that it kind of will coincide then with Modest Buzelis and when his rookie contract is up. Now, we see this happen a lot in football. Yeah. Basketball, typically, everybody's maxes are all different at different times, and you kind of see teams try to do that somewhat if they're already there. What do you think about the Bulls potentially trying to already line up a contract to match when Modest is up for an extension?
There's a belief in Modest that is maybe more than where I'm at just now. There's a belief that Modest is the answer. That's what that screams that to me. There's a belief that Modest is the answer. There is. You feel like Josh Giddey can be your Tyrese Haliburton for this team, and then Modest Buzelis can be a Pascal Siakam. And the reason I'm saying those two names is because AK is sitting at home, pants off, watching this NBA Finals here, where most of this team wasn't even drafted. It was just a bunch of dudes traded for.
That is hilarious.
He's sitting at home just going, they traded for Shea, they traded for Tyrese. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. He is, bro.
And two players that were what? Shea was number 10, 11th pick, and Tyrese was number 15?
I think they both were 10, 11, somewhere in there, yeah. Like, it's just like, he's living in that world right now. And, the Pacers traded for Pascal Siakam, gave him the contract. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, what he's on right now. Miles Turner's always been there. Our Coby White is our Miles Turner.
Yeah, Tyrese Haliburton's pick 12. So.
I mean, like, it's now, if you didn't F up, you could have just drafted one of them. But but if you being honest about the whole situation, you know what I mean? I think that he's looking at this as we've got our young core, and now it's time to move forward, and now it's time to go all in on this, especially in an Eastern Conference that looks like it might be about to lose Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially in an Eastern Conference that there is going to be no Jason Tatum next season, especially in an Eastern Conference where the team that's representing the East is the Indiana Pacers, who I think even watching them now, it doesn't feel like you're light years behind. It feels like you're behind them, but it doesn't feel like we're as far behind the Pacers as we are behind the Boston Celtics when they're at full strength. So I think AK is probably at home, Johnson bottle ready to go. Did he say that? Can I say that on lockdown? I don't know.
8 or 10 really good players.
8 or 10 something.
Yeah, no, I think this just shows a level of foresight by this front office that they're at least saying, like, hey, if Modest is the guy, we want to make sure that we have flexibility, that if he turns into that we have some latitude to what we want to do with the roster built around him. I don't know what that's going to mean for Coby, IO extensions, or anything else going forward, but I think it's just smart, right? It's smart to do because Modest has shown a lot of flashes. Nothing you can say for sure. I hate the people that are like, oh, he's a star or he's a superstar. It's like, bro, you can't be a superstar. You're shooting 30-something% from the field. Like, you can't do that.
So he has a lot. Not how that works.
And it's not how that works. So there's still a lot that he needs to do to show that he's ready for that next level. But again, you're not expecting that to happen until at earliest, maybe year 2. Like, you start seeing some flashes from some people. But year 3, year 4, I think is a fair estimation by that. And then you do have to get ready for an extension. So the last thing you want is a player that has really stepped up. And if he has shown that leap, and then you're like, well, heck, we don't have money to build around him right now. So having that, thinking about that, is smart. And he's not even Modest. Who you draft now will be 3 years into their career by then, right? Yeah. Who you draft in 2026 will be 2 years into their career by then. So you may look at this and say, hey, while we were building this around Josh Giddey and Coby and Modest, now maybe it's a different combination. Maybe it's Coby, the 25 pick, and Modest. Maybe it's the 25, 26 pick and Modest, where you're then saying, all right, we don't need to spend this heavy contract to keep Josh Giddey around. No knock on Giddey. I hope that he is able to stay around, but you're looking at that and saying these 3 guys that we drafted over the last 3 years look like a nucleus that really can get us where we want to go. We need to now take that money and spend that to support them. I think that's smart if you
now, if this is a deal breaker for Josh Giddey, though, is do you give in on the maybe go player option for that 5th year? Do you go team option for that 5th year where you say, listen, we want to bring you back, especially if you're playing well. It's not about not giving you money. It's about having the money available for Modest. Like this is one where it's like first contract. I would think if I'm Giddey's agent, I'm holding on to that 5th year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be a deal breaker, right? Like I understand and like I've said before when we talked about Giddey, if you come to the table, that's why it's a negotiation. Say, hey, we want to do 4 years. This is why. This also could benefit you by you getting back out in the market, and you'll get a contract. And if you've done what you need to do here, cool, great. We have no problem paying you at that point. But if Giddey and his agency are like, hey, no, we need that 5th year in some shape, form, or fashion. You can give it to us as a player option. At that point, we have the control. You can say we can make the choice to opt out so that we can re-up everybody on decent deals. I don't think that it should be something that you then say, if you don't want to sign the 4-year deal, we're not re-signing you at all. It's just that you go to the table with how you think it's going to help you. So,
I meant as far as Giddey, because you got to think, right? If I'm coming to the table 4-year or $30 million for 5 years, first off, I'm giving y'all a discount on what I could be asking for, because I still want this team to be built. But that's 150. So where's my other 30 go? So are we gonna work out a 4-year $38 million
that's where
deal?
we differ at. Even when me and you were talking about signing the declining contract, we still get the amount of money. Like, I think that in the modern NBA, players understand, like, unless you have a fear that you're gonna suck or get injured, you actually can gain more money by not signing that. Like, you can, because at the end of that 4th year, whether it's a player option or not, you get out of that, you can opt out, and then you can re-sign, get your 120% raise, and now you're looking at, instead of being a $30 million guy, you're looking at being a $48 million guy, right? So I think that they're, not to say that it wouldn't be a sticking point for Josh Giddey and his agency. Like I said, if they go to the table, I'm fine give them the 5 years. Don't nickel and dime over 1 year.
Yeah.
It'll push your plans off 1 year. Okay, cool. But I think whether it's, if you can get them to agree to a player option, hell, if you can get them to agree to a team option, which AK doesn't believe in team options.
Yeah. Well, he'll fully guarantee it. 150 fully guaranteed.
2 years early. It'll be like, hey, he's 2 years into a 5-year deal. The last year is, no, we're going to go ahead and guarantee that. Don't worry. Put in the paperwork.
Put it in. Send it in. It's crazy, bro. Javon Carter's fully guaranteed contract.
Bro, and even though me and you were both favorable on the signing of Javon Carter at the time, because what he could have brought theoretically,
fully guaranteed is
to fully guaranteed is wild.
Fully guaranteed,
because was Javon Carter really going into the negotiations like, yeah, I need that fully guaranteed or I'm not signing here? And you looked at it and said, oh my God, we can't have him not sign here. You got to give him the fully guaranteed contract.
Bro, I remember just being like I remember being excited about the deal, but he'd still be like, fully guaranteed is kind of crazy. But all right, let's see. But he'll be all right. He'll be fine. Now he's not fine, and he's fully guaranteed. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I think that we got to talk about how Modest factors into the Bulls' offseason plans here coming up, as we know they want to re-sign Giddey, but can you line it up with Modest, and does that work for the long term? That might be crazy. We'll talk about all that and more after we hear from a word from our sponsors over at give it a sec, BetterHelp.